Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, we have received numerous messages from the community about some explanation on our Islamic will that we have prepared from the KMA organization. Here is a short video to explain you how to fill up the will, what are the details inside. We'll do a quick walkthrough of our Islamic will template of each page, and then I can explain you what are the details that are required there. So we'll start with a short disclaimer that whatever we are discussing here is of generic in nature and to be considered only as a guidance. Without further ado, let's begin. My name is Syed Abdul Mujib, and on behalf of KMA organization, I would like to present you the walkthrough of Islamic will. The procedure we have is the first step is to download the will, and if you still haven't downloaded the will, here is the link where you can log on to the website, fill up few details and download the will. Once you have the will, then you can just fill out the will form completely and sign yourself in front of two witnesses and have the witness sign the form, and that's it. You store the form in a safe place, either keep it in your home or you can scan and send a copy to the executor, your spouse, friend, relative. It does not mandate you that you have to register the will in any government bodies or government registry. So it is a valid, and a valid will is holds inarguably very strong powers, and it will act on behalf of you to protect your Islamic values, to protect your wishes, your desires, and to safeguard your family, and and the last rituals that we would like how we would like to perform it. So as long as the will is valid, it holds a very strong powers, and it can act in front of the judiciary on behalf of you. So I would encourage everyone to have a will. Okay, so let's go through each role that's mentioned in the document. The first is the testator. Testator is the person who is writing the will. If I'm writing a will, then if the will belongs to me, then I am the testator. So wherever you see a testator space, uh, you you have to write your details. Okay, and then the executor, that's the second role. Executor is the main person responsible for executing the will. You can learn more details and duties of the executor uh, responsibilities in our document as well, in the will document itself. And executor's main duty is to ensure that the will is being implemented, and it is not necessary for an executor to have any in-depth uh, knowledge of the legal requirements or the Australian requirements, etc. So anyone you trust can be appointed as an executor. Start with your closed ones, your spouse, relative, friend, or any financial accountant who knows your details, or a lawyer if you have already appointed, anyone who knows about your family. If the appointed executor lacks knowledge, suppose if you are appointing a spouse and she does not have enough knowledge, so it does not, it's still no harm. At the time when it is required, then executor can themselves appoint a lawyer to act to fulfill the duties. So it's not something that the executor himself has to perform all the duties. So just someone who can make a decision on behalf of us. So that's the one. And one important requirement about the executor is he or she has to be an Australian resident. Although the law does not prevent us to appoint someone, we have families overseas, so we would like to appoint our relatives back home as an executor, but it is becomes challenging to make informed decisions in a timely manner when it is required. So, and I would like to take this opportunity also to encourage everyone to come forward for the role of executor. If someone wishes to appoint you as an executor, then we should not find any excuse. In simple terms, you are just acting as a decision maker in the absence of the testator. Okay, moving on to the third role, we have the guardian or custodian. This is the person responsible for taking care of the minor children. And inside the will, we have already mentioned that this guardian or custodian's role will come into play only when both the parents of the children are deceased and none of the children have reached any adulthood. So in only in such case, to look after the minors, you can appoint the custodian or guardian. uh, Ideally will be a close relative or a friend, or in if you don't have any other option, then even the executor can act as a guardian or custodian. And then the fourth one is witness must be an adult, at least 18 years old, and an Australian resident. They do not have to be a lawyer, justice of peace, or work in any public or hospital industries, etc. No, nothing like that. However, the witness cannot be an executor. That's the important point to note. Witness cannot be an executor, and witness cannot be someone who is a direct beneficiary of the testator, like like the testator's spouse or children. They cannot act as witness. It has to be a third person. So either a friend, find a friend, relative, neighbor, who is or an accountant locally. Now let's turn our attention to the Islamic will template itself. The first page contains the details about the testator. So this is my will. So I am the testator. These are all my details, my name, my full address. Moving on to the second page, uh, we have, we'll start with your full name, the testator's full name, full address, your date of birth. And then point number two, we have executor. You can start ideally with your spouse and any adult child, or in that case, if you don't have any adult child at the moment, then you can mention the relative or a friend or a lawyer. So this goes in and as in priority. And when you're writing the executor's name, I would suggest to enter their contact details as well, either phone number or the address if the space provides. If you just have only one or two, then you can use the space to enter their full details. And on every page at the bottom, you'll see the testator signature. So this is my will, my signature, and then the two witnesses who are not from the executor. Just to take note of it, we need two witnesses signature. Moving on to the third page, here the details about the custodian or guardianship, the male and female, the spouses. So I can start with a relative or a friend, or if I don't have any other, then I can just put the same person who is acting as an executor, their details. The in the point one itself, you can mention their details. Again, at the bottom of page, we need your signature and the two witnesses. Next page, here the page 4 provides some optional space where you will see point number 6 where you have uh, unpaid zakat. So this is all as per Sharia. This is a requirement. If there is any pending debts upon you, or if there is any these are all religious debts, right? So if you have missed any fasting, missed any prayers, or is there any unpaid zakat, you can mention that amount in Australian dollars as of that date when you're writing the will. And leftover, you can also bequest it was here to the leftover amount to the any Islamic charitable organization or madrasa or a mosque if they accept sadaqah, and how much percentage you can mention. But this is an optional space. Even if you skip this, if you leave it blank, there's no harm. Okay, and then at the bottom you need to enter testator's signature and the two witnesses. Then we come to the last page where you are declaring that this is your will. So your full name, and then your place or suburb, you can write it, and then the date that you're signing, your signature, date and time. Again, your signature and witness signature at the bottom of the page. Last page, we have the witness details. The witness would write your name here, or you can write your own name here, and then they will enter their details here, and then signature. witness 1 and witness 2. So that's all. That completes the Islamic will form. I hope this explanation clarifies the key aspects of how to fill out the KMA Islamic will. Jazakallah khair. And for more details, please refer to the last page of the will where you can read through, you can find more information and you can read through. If you have any further queries, you can email us at welcome to kma@gmail.com. And Jazakallah khair.